500K. If you think that's unrealistic, it's in your mind. I'm telling you right, it's not a lot. I'm going to break it down for you and I'm going to show you the mechanics of doing it because it's easily attainable in wholesaling. So I will tell you right now, can you do 500K by yourself? You can. I will tell you 500K profit net is going to be a challenge solo because we didn't get in this business to run around with our heads cut off. Okay. And I don't want you to do the same. So let me preface by saying you want to make what you need to be financially free and spend as much time with your family. Guys, we're only here so long on this earth, so we have to make the best of the time. We all assume like we're going to be here forever. We're not. So let's make an impact now. If wholesaling's your route, that's great. 500K, great. If you want to do a million, great. I'm just giving you a roadmap. If you want to take 500K and you want to turn in a million, you're going to have to double your efforts and you're going to have to double the steps I give you. So without further ado, I promise you to make 500K, you're going to have to be a leader. And what do I mean by that? Is you are the shining example of the team you're going to form. You have to walk the talk. And most importantly, you have to lead. How do you lead? You have to empower people. So without getting into this, I'm going to get into the whole team building is you have to have a mindset of a leader. And it's not as complicated as you think. You have to do the right things when nobody's looking. You have to lead your team in the right direction. And sometimes you have to go through really troubled waters. If you don't want to do it, this will be a challenge. And I'm telling you from personal hand experience. I've done 500K by myself. It was torture. It was hard, and I wouldn't recommend it, and I wouldn't ask any of you to do it. Now, here's the really cool thing. It does not take a gigantic team to do it. So full disclosure, I've done this business with a huge team, with huge overhead, with almost 20 agents. Talking about direct salespeople, and I didn't like it. I did it for almost 4 years. I made a lot of money doing it. I was not free though. I was constantly engaged in meetings and Zooms, and to the point, like I'm at a different point in my life. Honestly, if I did that back in my 20s, I probably would have embraced it a lot better. But doing that in my mid 40s, I just felt time slipping by really fast, and I hated sitting at a desk. So if you could relate to that, I want you to understand 500K is going to be a small team. You have to be the leader. Okay. In order to be a leader, you have to be open to criticism. You have to be open to change, and you have to admit when you're wrong. And most importantly, you got to take that ego and throw it out the window. Your ego will kill you as a leader. Okay. You've got to be worried about your team's ego, and you have to lead them. So without going on a 4-hour monologue on leadership, which there's tons and tons of training out there, there's workshops, all business have to deal with leadership. This is not special to wholesaling. You're going to have to acquire that skill. If you don't have it, you're going to have to learn it. And if you've never done it before, start reading like crazy now. Read. YouTube's a great university to get you started. Go to workshops in your area. The really cool thing is it's central to all businesses, and you have to do it. Okay. So once you know you have to be a leader, the next thing is team building. Okay. You do not need a giant team to do 500K. I'm just telling you right now, you can do it with 1 to 3 VAs or 1 assistant and 1 VA. Maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your son, maybe it's your daughter, maybe it's your aunt, your uncle. You kind of get the drift here. So I like a team because it's going to help you. You cannot do everything. Okay. I've yet to meet anyone who has done huge things all by themselves. It's just, there's a limit. There's only so much time on this earth, and you can only touch so many people. So when you bring in a team member, make sure that they are focused towards a marketing and sales activity. Do not bring them in for anything else when you just get started with this. So I like VAs because I can train them on a task that's very redundant, that wastes my time, and I can follow up on KPIs with them. So my suggestion is 1 to 3 VAs. Each VA is going to have a specific job and task, and they have to master it before you give them anything else. That's it, guys. Like, honestly, I did 500K with 2 VAs with my eyes shut. Did I do it correctly? That's up to debate. So I'm not the best. I don't handle the VAs in my company because I'm not good at it. Like there's a lot of nuances that go on with follow up. The training is intense, and you have to have detailed procedures. So define what your team is going to be, and the people you want to add to your team are the ones that are going to help you with the marketing. Yes, I promise you, we're going to go deep in the marketing here. Okay. So you can do it with VAs. The best way to do it is have some sort of, I'm not going to call it a partnership. You can call it an employee, a partnership. I initially started with my wife when I did this business. My son wasn't around. So bring somebody in that has your back and will help you out. And that person's going to pick you up and support you when you get your teeth kicked in, because I promise you it will happen in wholesaling. That's the best way to do it, and make sure they understand it's a joint effort and nobody's taking money out of this company till it's extremely profitable. So you pick the method you want to do it, add the VAs, and they are solely towards your SMS marketing, cold calling, RVM, whatever strategy you're going to do. Maybe they're handling your list with direct mail, whatever it is. And that's how you're going to assemble a team. It's not really complicated. It does take time to sit down and write procedures. So the first 7 years of this business, I did it by myself. I was an idiot the way I did it because I was making plenty of money. I just had trust issues and I couldn't get out of my head, and I let my ego take over. So learn from my mistakes, guys, because it's not fun doing it all by yourself. So you want to bring people in that's going to help build. And if you look at an employee or partner, it should be someone that's going to contribute to your overall profitability, not take away. And if you're looking at it the other way, you're looking at it wrong. So when you bring someone in, it's like, honestly, even if you're going to pay a salaried employee 50 or 70,000, the numbers have gotten staggering lately. But honestly, if they don't work out and really by month 3, they're going to be gone anyway. So like, get over it. Like if you have to, like, oh my God, I'm owing all this money. But if they come in, they bring you an extra 10 deals, think of how much extra money you're going to make. And you got to look at it like that. So your team is not going to be huge. Like there's this myth out there that you have to have giant teams. The happiest, most functionable, most real wholesalers I've ever met all have small elite teams. And everyone said, I've tried it the other way, Rick. I was losing my mind. I lost my freedom, and I didn't get into wholesaling to do this. So if that's your mantra, keep tuned in, because that's how I operate. Now, if you're young and you want to run with it, but the problem is most of the time your costs with a big team, they get out of control quick. And in wholesaling, the problem is if you try to scale it on a huge scale, most people fail because the margins get too low. And real estate is a local one-on-one, house-to-house, block-to-block. It is not scalable on a national level. How do I know this? Because I've been around 20 years. I've watched at least 20 huge companies come in with billions of dollars, and every one of them has failed. So understanding, anyone who tells you that you can do $3 billion in sales and wholesaling, it's a pipe dream. It doesn't work. I mean, look at Zillow. They just tried it. They just lost $500 million. So it's and they admitted it's too local in each economy. What works in Florida, probably not going to work in California. Every market is specific. And that's the unique advantage all us wholesalers have. So the next part, boy, if I screwed this up in the past, guys, learn from me. I am humble. I understand my mistakes. The problem is 7 years of me spending in this business, I got so good at diving into this thing, it was really hard to get in my head. So I knew exactly what I need an employee to do. I just was a poor communicator when I started. So I have really learned a lot in the last 5 years in how to communicate with people. And I find that most of our problems happen from is just communication. Sometimes when you have a problem with someone, if you just pick up the phone, put the flame out quickly, instead of letting it fester into some sort of massive fight. Yes, this happens with your employees. Okay. You have to listen to them, but you have to communicate. How do you communicate to them? You have to have a detailed plan on how you're going to communicate. So if you work virtually, which by the way, you guys should do this virtually. Do not go get a big office. In my opinion, it's going to chain you to the desk when you do that. And understand that, because you got to do long-term leases. You have to have offices, overhead. This is all money you can spend towards marketing. If you want a really long-term player, have them the ability to work in your business virtually and tell them they can live anywhere in the world. And the sky is your limit in who you can bring in. I love that because I can go anywhere. I can go to the Caribbean. I can go up north. I can go to Europe. You can do anything in this business when you do it. But communication. So what's your communication style? There's great software tools like Slack. A lot of people love that. Zoom is a great tool. Just sharing online, and you have structured meetings. So if you have a Monday morning huddle, which a lot of us use, define the time. If it's 20 minutes, make sure it's 20 minutes. And here's the key part most people miss. You've got to listen to your employees' feedback. Some of it is going to be poor. Remember we talked about being a leader, but you do have to take some of the feedback, because if they don't feel like they contribute, they're going to leave you. Okay. I never think I'm going to own an employee forever. In the beginning, I used to always think that. But you should have them in your business where they're helping you make so much money and they're so happy, they never want to leave you. They're their best advertising. And the best way to do is communicate to them. It's not about buying gifts. They say the number one reason why people leave companies, they didn't feel appreciated. I just had someone tell me the other day, they left the company. I got to hire them, thank God, because their boss just never gave them a happy birthday or said, like, Merry Christmas. And like, I'm talking about a very high paid employee, and I've been eyeing this person for years. And guys, like, people are willing to leave six-figure jobs because their boss didn't say thank you or happy birthday or how's your husband, how's your wife. Understanding this, I've made this mistake before. You have to listen to your employees. You have to listen to the good and the bad. You have to be a leader. So here's my favorite part. 500 grand, you got to be a marketing machine. You have to understand marketing. Marketing is going to be your greatest value to bring to your team to make 500K plus. Okay. Remember, I'm talking about, this is just a starting point for you. Remember, my goal is to get you to 100K, do it by yourself, and then bring a few people to get you up to 500K, and then let you launch to the world. Because by then you're going to have so many ideas. My goal is you exceed me and Zach. I don't care. There's more business out there. When we all do wholesaling and we all win, we might have different methods of doing it. I don't care. Like, I'm neutral. I do not care. I've done paid. I've done free. There's good and bad in all of it. But times have changed, guys. Like, the way we communicate, we talk, we connect, it's changed. In 2003 was a different world when I did this. And I was happy to go about the route because it's the only route. A lot of people are still using that route, and I think it's changed. So you need to make the decision on what's best for you. It's not my decision, it's your decision. And don't let anybody's marketing, anyone's peer pressure, having anybody call you 10 times to sign up for a program. You have to make the decision, okay? You got to be authentic in what's best for you. Sometimes it's great for you, sometimes it's not. It's you to make that decision. So, marketing. You have to be the expert marketer. This is what you're going to pick up in your first 6 months to a year in wholesaling. You're going to figure out how to find lists of motivated sellers. We go over endless. We'll talk about it in the questions, I'm sure. And you have to have a sniper approach and gather those lists. You gather those lists, you figure out the services you're going to use, skip tracing, anything like that, and you have to market. Once you understand how to market, you define your territories. You can expand, you can contract. You go here where you're doing a lot of deals. And what happens is, I love marketing. I am the marketing master in my business. This is what I do. And I feel it has the most powerful impact on my business. That and acquisitions. That's the only stuff I deal with, guys, because that's what I'm best at. In the beginning, I did everything. I was terrible at dispositions. I'm going to be honest with you. I was probably the worst disposition person in the wholesaling community. I just gave stuff away. I didn't care. I just wanted to go through it, because when you work by yourself, you don't have as much time. So we're talking about a team, marketing. And the one thing you got to see, once you get your machine going, you have to be brutally consistent. You have to be disciplined, and you have to keep doing it. And here's the best part. Even when your marketing fails, which it will at some point, you have to take the feedback and you have to adjust, and you have to keep going in. The minute you stop marketing because you had a bad month, that's when the wheels come off the bus. And I've made that mistake in the past. And I'm telling you, you want to do a consistent, precise, and you want to leave room to grow in marketing. So I've done everything, paid per click. I've done TV ads. I've done radio. And I've took all the information of what worked and what didn't work. And today, I still do exactly what works gosh, all the way back to 2003. We've done a lot of changes. I'll tell you, our methods are much different, but I have learned, and I am constantly learning. 20 years in this business, anybody who says they know it all, run like heck, because we're all learning. The world is constantly changing. The way people connect now, it's actually insane. But so marketing, guys, that's going to be your expertise. That's what's going to get you to the 500K. You've got to be the person in charge of marketing. So you're going to be a leader, and you are going to set the marketing schedule. Once you get it up and running, you can use the VA to help you keep it consistent, meaning getting the marketing out. I don't care if it's bandit signs, SMS, cold calling, RVM, direct mail. You use the VA to keep you consistent. And I'm going to let you in a little secret. I used the VA as like my accountability partner when I was doing it by myself, because I told the VA, we're going to do this every week. And if I got behind a week, the VA is like, Rick, you told me you were going to do it. I'm like, yeah, I know. And a lot of times I'd wait a day or two, and after beat myself up, I go, yes, I committed to it. I'm going to do it. Now, fast forward, it's completely opposite, but I'm just telling you, you will go through the same type of conversation. So marketing, you've got to do it even when it sucks and it doesn't work. You learn from it. Remember, there's no failures in wholesaling. There's just learning curves. And once you learn, you just keep going forward. And the more you go forward, the more confident you get. Like right now, when I do marketing, I love it. Like I write the checks. Actually, I don't. It's just swipe on a credit card now. But if I don't market, I know I'm going to have issues down the road. Can I get deals without marketing? I do it all the time. I do JVs with everybody on the stream, it seems like. So, but I really, really love wholesaling, and I hope it comes through for you guys. So once you understand you are the leader, you're going to drive the marketing ship, then we shift to Dispo, just short for dispositions, and that's nothing more than the liquidation of these properties. I will tell you, when I started doing the 500K mark, I struggled horribly in dispositions for one reason. I did not have time. And what I did is I discounted properties deeply to sell them quickly, and I left a lot of money on the table. In hindsight, it would have been cheaper and more effective to hire a dispositions manager. And guys, this is really simple. You do not have to hire an employee for this. Go find a tired realtor or somebody that understands how to sell properties and strike a deal with them, and let them push your properties out, and tell them, you've got 2 weeks to move this property. You've got 30 days to move this property, whatever it is. And then have a scorecard and have your I used to have daily meetings with them, but at least a weekly meeting. And so if you got 6 properties you need to move out, you got to put pressure on them to move those properties. I did this by myself at the VA. It was a huge mistake, and it cost me millions of dollars. And I want you to learn from it. Dispo's the easiest part of it, because you really don't have to do a lot of training. You got to tell them, I need a minimum of this number. Anything extra you sell, I'll bonus you out. And you got 30 days to get it done and closed. Here's the title company we're going to use. Do you think you can handle it? Great. Go take some pictures, get it on the market. Let me know if you got any questions. So the Dispo is actually, in my opinion, the easiest one to work with. And it's not hard. I like to work with like licensed realtors because they've already like figured it out. I find one that just, they can't get consistent deals themselves, and you can set. Now, how do you pay them? Completely up to you. Usually you pay them a percentage of the deal, or you can do a percentage of the profit. So usually what I'll do is a percentage of the profit. And then if they move it faster and they get me more money, like we just did a deal this week, the realtor got me $45,000 more. I'm going to take care of them, right? Like I never expected, to be honest with you. It wasn't even close. That's why I don't do dispositions, because I'm so in the art of chasing a deal down. I'm really bored on the disposition side, and my ADHD comes out really bad. And I want to move it, and I'm not patient, because when you're selling these properties in Dispo, you're not in a sales mode. You're in like, take it or leave it, take it or leave it. I don't spend energy on that. A realtor will take extra time and do that. Now, it doesn't have to be a licensed realtor, but it does help, and it gives you options to put properties on the market. So that's the best way I can explain Dispos. Man, did I screw this up, but I'm telling you, if you're going to do 500K, you've got to have some help, because you're going to spend so much energy on the marketing and acquisitions where you need to be. Make sure somebody's handling the Dispo part for you. And in my opinion, it's the easiest part. I missed this beat for a long time, and I'm telling you, without the Dispo team I have right now, my income would be cut by 30, 40%. So it's that important, guys. I'm telling you, there are people that are really good at selling properties. And they're like, well, Rick, I'm selling beat up like old houses. I'm telling you, they're really good at doing it. You just got to let them know the time frame. The hardest part of training realtors is like, listen, I need this gone in a week, 2 weeks. And they just kind of look at you like, what are you, crazy? You just got to teach them how to deal with cash buyers and those types of deals. So, because the number one question they ask me, Rick, how long do I have? And and a good one will try to exceed whatever price you have on it. Okay, the last part of this, which we talked about, me and Zach talked about yesterday. We talked about how to do high profit margin deals, 100K plus. If you missed it, it's on our YouTube channel. Go check it out. And we talked in detail how to do this. We have to throw high margin deals in there. So hear me out, guys. If you do wholesaling, you fish through it and you take the time and you find a really motivated seller and a great opportunity, and like you are prepared. And remember, when luck meets opportunity, when opportunity meets preparation, some people call it luck. I call it wholesaling. And if you do this consistently, if I told you the amount of deals that I've done over 6-figure, you wouldn't even believe me. I'd have to go through and give an accurate number. So I'm going to shoot a number, but it's high. And here's one thing I found out. Every year, minimum 3 times a year, I have these deals come across my desk through regular wholesaling. Yes, single family homes. A lot of them are probates. A lot of them have been abandoned. A lot of people just say, listen, I don't know what to do with this house. Is it every deal? No, it's not. But if you consistently do this business, you'll get them. We teach you how to wholesale them. We teach you how to do the acquisitions part. And then if you put the dispo part into it, it's amazing. Now, think about this. If you found 2 deals that made, just say you found 2 deals that made 100 grand each in a year. Even say you find one, okay? That knocks you down to what? 300 grand, 350. And so you will do those. I'm just telling you, 20 years, they always come across my desk. I've had 2 opportunities to make a 7-figure deal on one flip. I got close on one, but the other one blew up with me with a lawyer because I didn't know what I was doing, because I was doing everything by myself. So don't do it that way. You can start out doing it that way. Don't end that way. But once you do that, then you're left with like 300, 350K. And honestly, if you average 15 to 17 grand on an assignment or even like a wholesale, you only got to do like 20, 25 deals a year. That's 2 deals a month plus the high margin. Guys, 500K. I've had people go, Rick, that's sky in the pie dreams. I'm telling you, it's easy. You just have to do the business full-time and consistent. You're not going to do that part-time. If you are, you got to be really good at what you do. And guys, this is just the starting. Like, you can get a road back to $1 million and stuff like that. Remember, a lot of people think they can go from 100 to 500, and it is 100% doable. Can you go 500 to $1 million? Absolutely. There's going to be a lot more structured in it. But then people think, well, if I can make $1 million, I can do 10 million. I'm here to tell you, it's much more challenging the further you scale it up. And you have to make a decision. What do I really want in my life? Like, what's my why? If you want to work 15 hours a day, you can make 5 million a year in this business. But you're not going to have, I don't think you're going to have any time. Like, so even if you're the CEO and the leader, you have to have all the meetings and everything. And listen, I'm not knocking it. I just, at some point, I can't take this money with me. So you do charities, you can do 501c3s, you can do whatever you want. At the end of the day, I've seen more wealthy people miserable, and I do not want to be part of that crowd. I want to be happy. I want to enjoy life. And that's why I'm here to connect with you guys. I love wholesaling. It has changed my life drastically. I believe I spoke to, I'm not great with Facebook messages. I have somebody who helps me out with it, but every now and then I scroll through and I try to interact and answer as many questions. And I had a wonderful lady, I believe she was a single mother, and just told me how it drastically changed her life. And I just made a comment like, I'm really proud of you. You found your why. This is what you want to do. And she was happy. And then I had 4 other people in the same predicament go, wow, like, that's really powerful. It's real. I can't believe you responded to him. And that's the whole point of why we do these live. So I try to answer it. Guys, send me as many comments as you can. I'm a little bit slow in responding. I apologize. I'm not big on having an assistant answer everything for me, but Sometimes, like Friday night after this, I like to sit and scroll through the comments. So I love it. I never ask for testimonials. I believe everything should be organic in this business. I believe that's one of the problems we have in this business. I believe when you go to people's sites and you only see the positive testimonies, they're cherry picked. And I hate that. I don't know how to fix it. I'm wide open suggestions on it. But listen, I can only control what I do. I'm not here to like police the coaching world and stuff like that. Most of them are like really good people. I just wish the business would change and understand that times are changing. There's no more secrets in wholesaling, guys. I'm telling you, it's a basic structure, and I want you all to succeed. So without further ado, I see the comments loaded up in here. Let me get this out of the way here. That's it, guys. 500K. Do not complicate it. Break down the math. Go back and do a replay on this. Okay, if I can pick 100K deal, or maybe I get 150 and that leaves 350, how many deals do I have to do a month? Well, I can tell you, you can do 2 or 3 and do that. Guys, it's extremely manageable and it's not that hard to do. So I'm living proof of it. My son did it. He didn't do 500K when he was 17, but long before he was 20, And there's no reason you can't do it either. So you're not limited by your education. Wholesaling doesn't care how smart you are, by the way. It cares how hard you're going to work and how dedicated you are to it. So I'm here to tell you, wholesaling is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's marketed like that. People say, hey, there's no risk. You do this, pay me this. I'll show you all the secrets. There's no secrets. Anyone tells you a secret, ask them what the secret is. The secret is you have to pay to get the secret. And it's ridiculous. So wholesaling is a basic strategy. I agree. If you want to get more help, you want to like bring in a team and you want to sit in someone's office for a week, then you need to go out and find those types of services. I'm not the guy to do it because I like to go fishing. I like to have fun. I like to spend time with the family. I like to travel. I like to do all sorts of things, and wholesaling allows me to do it all. So let's see here, guys. So make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you can smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. I want everybody to know here, we are looking to have the biggest footprint in social media for wholesaling and do a movement. I'm never asking you for a credit card. I coach you guys. I spend 4 hours live with you. Zach does twice as much time with you. We do live calls. We do everything. And the more people we have in here, the more influence we have and the more people I can help out. And then I can help other people change their mind, how we can make this industry better. Maybe we can all work together and help you, the new wholesaler, out. I don't care if you're 5, 10 years into it. By the way, I listen to everybody's stuff. Like, I am wide open, man. Like, I am so unbiased. It's ridiculous. And what does that mean is I can tell you the truth on this channel. So the minute you guys have an issue with one software, I offer you, I don't care which one you use. So we do promote products in our business that we use. And actually, a lot of them we just pay for, just like you do. So we're in this with you. And